success, we'll talk about very important topic today. That topic is this. I will not repeat, but for the benefit of those people who are not there, I'll just keep it on for 30 seconds only for that purpose. They want to know further about it. You can always go through the recording and find out more about my horoscope. Yes. Expectations, same as yesterday. Please be active, even hyperactive on the chat box. It energizes me. And as I said earlier, it's a free course. Be it till the end. No sales or upselling happening here. We already finished two topics. One is reprogram the subconscious mind, and other one is enhance emotional intelligence yesterday. So today's topic is discover the purpose of life. Discover the purpose of life. And tomorrow we'll talk about time. So I'll talk about something known as Ikigai, then discovering our talents, importance of a vision statement, developing a vision board for effective goal setting, so that life's purpose is fulfilled. Now, this is a patch of plot, and this is another plot of land. Who made this and who made this? And which of the two do you like? Write in a chat box, 1 or 2. 1, this is 2. Obviously, I know the answer and you know the answer, but I want to keep you active in the chat box also. So, Krishnan sir is there. Krishnan sir is my guru in Franklin Covey, and he is a coach for thousands of people. So, welcome, Krishnan sir. So, second one is good. Now, how does someone get the second one? And who can make this one? What efforts are needed for this? And what efforts are needed for the other one? Yeah, obviously the man himself or herself. We make this one, and if we don't put our efforts to making into this one, so there is human effort involved in making two, and without effort this can be, it can develop just like that, because seeds of weeds are available in plenty in the environment itself. When there is nothing in the soil and nobody to take care of the soil, the seeds will get embedded in the soil and they'll wait for the entire summer season. They will not die in this heat of summer. And when the first rain comes, the weeds will come. Similarly, our subconscious mind is a very, very fertile soil. It doesn't require anybody to look after it to grow weeds. So any of the weeds, that is, any of the unproductive thoughts will get embedded in the subconscious mind, and it will grow like a wild grass. Because to make something like this, we need effort. That means we should be choosy on what we are planting. If you select the right plants and right seeds and right trees and plant them, and just planting is not good enough. The grass will grow without any problem. We don't need any effort. Seeds also not required. Seeds will come automatically from the environment. Whereas this will require you to select the seeds. This will require you to nurture those seeds. This will require you to look after those seeds till the time they grow up. Similarly, our subconscious mind, if it has to grow like a beautiful garden that is here, it requires constant efforts to select the right thoughts, and nurture them by means of habits. And habits don't happen overnight. Habits require sustained efforts. In our Indian philosophy, we say it requires a mandala. A mandala is 48 days. Anything you want to get into your bloodstream, into your subconscious mind, it becomes to second nature. It requires 48 days according to our scriptures. Somebody says it requires 21 days. That's why if you go to any driving class, driving school, all their driving classes run for 21 days. They will teach you driving for 21 days. At the end of it, they can say, now you are qualified to take a test. So 21 days also is according to some literature, 48 days according to our literature. That means it doesn't happen overnight. Nobody can say that I will get a habit in one day. You need to break a habit also, you need equal number of days. Now I do yoga every day. So Surya Namaskar is one of them. And I had some neck pain because I took some extra load on my head because I'm in a village while carrying coconuts. I put some extra load there. So I had a neck muscle catch. So I said, I will not be able to do Surya Namaskar. Let me do other things, Tadasana, etc. and the Trikonasana, etc. In between Surya Namaskar was coming, so I left it for good 2-3 weeks. After that, even if the neck pain is not there, I used to forget to do the Surya Namaskar because that habit is broken. So again, I have to do it for 21 days till the time it becomes smooth flow. Otherwise, I have to keep remembering, after this Surya Namaskar, after this Surya Namaskar. Otherwise, I'll forget that. So 21 days minimum, if you do something, then it becomes a habit. So subconscious mind needs to be voluntarily redirected by habit. And once it becomes a habit, it remains with you because habit is H-A-B-I-T. You remove H from there, a bit remains. And you remove F from there, bit remains. Rajendra says, what is the significance of number 7? Number 7, let me finish this one and then come back to that. You remove B, it still remains. Now, 7 is a number which can be easily remembered by your brain for recalling purposes. If you remember, all the telephone numbers of metros of Mumbai or Chennai or Delhi, those days it would only be MTNL numbers. They used to have 8 digits, but the first digit was a common 2 and then 7 digits. And nobody used to keep a diary in the pocket to remember number. Those 7 digits to your family or anybody is automatically remembered. Now try to remember your own wife's phone number or for the wife to husband number. The phone is lost, probably you are lost forever because you don't even know whom to call. So 7 is something which is implicit to our recalling capacity. So because of that, we have got the 7 colors of the rainbow, the 7 miracles, 7 wonders of the world. So 7 is that. Now, if you ask me whether only 7 secrets are there, no. But whatever other secrets you tell me, like you say the success, I want this also additionally. I will tell how this can be adjusted in these 7 things. So you have got still almost 1 hour to think about it. You tell me, okay, what about this particular thing? Is it not required for success? Then let me see whether I'll be able to put it in one of those. And if I attend all 7 days, you can tell me, okay, this is not covered. Then we'll see where it will fit in. Because this 7 will encompass any, otherwise you can have 100 things. But remembering 100 things is not easy. So partially I answered. So any doubts you can still, we have enough time after 8:15. Thank you, Rajendra. Now, what is the purpose of a honeybee? Is it to make honey or is there any other purpose it has got? Chat box, you can write. Collect the nectar. That is, in the process, it makes honey. Collect the nectar and get the, Ananya says something different. Nitish also says the same thing. Sagar also same thing. So purpose of a honeybee is not to make honey. It has got a different purpose. The purpose has, some of you have definitely told, agility, I don't know. It is agile. It is agile because it has a purpose. The agility is coming from. The purpose is not to make honey, but to do cross-pollination. And why is cross-pollination important? Rekha has already written there. Protect the environment. If cross-pollination doesn't happen, the world will not survive for long. But the quality of the seeds that we get out of the flowers in the plants is because there is cross-pollination. The same flower has to pollinate itself, the quality of seeds will go down, and next generation of seeds will be still worse. Productivity of the seeds will go down, quality of the seeds will go down, taste of the seeds will go down. That means rice, paddy, mustard. The mustards fields are known for their yellow color flowers. So they will not get cross-pollinated because there are no bees available in the world. And maybe some 50 years, nobody will have anything to eat because there are no trees, no plants, no fruits, no vegetables. So nature has provided a method for the flowers which cannot move themselves from one place to another place. It has provided nectar in the flowers, and it has created the bees which will come for the nectar, collect the nectar, and in the bargain do cross-pollination. So purpose is cross-pollination. The reward you get for that in the process as a byproduct of your efforts is honey. Now let us now come to, instead of bees, let us come to beings. Now, being is what? Human being. We're also bee. So is our purpose to make money, like the purpose, what we thought initially was purpose of a honeybee was to make honey? Or is there anything else? What would be the purpose? So obviously no. The way I'm asking rhetorical question, answer has to be no, and all of us know it. But I have to ask these rhetorical questions to make it interactive. So in that case, if making money is not the purpose, do we say that money is not important? Generate ideas, serve the society. It can be anything for anyone, different for different people. It doesn't have to be only to serve the purpose. It can be for anything, and you have to discover what it is. And when you do that, so a purpose has to be discovered. Nobody tells us. We have to discover what are we meant for. And we do the purpose, with all the actions which are required for the purpose, we get our reward as money. The money is important because without money you can't survive. But we are not working for money because you do not want to tell your grandchildren. If your grandchildren ask me, I got a grandchild. If you ask me, Grandpa, what were you doing? So do I say that age 25, onwards, I started going to office 9 to 6, go in the morning 9 o'clock, come back in the evening 6 o'clock. At the end of it, I get my monthly pay packet. So all that I did was go to office and come back for the monthly pay packet that I was getting. It is not a very romantic thing or a glamorous thing to tell a grandchild because you want to even fool the grandchild. So I do not want to end up with that statement that I was only working for money. But I want money, but I want money by doing something which serves a purpose. And that is what we are going to discuss in the Ikigai. So the purpose gives me the why. So why the why? Why the why is required? So let me see why is required. Why not just like that, work like that without any purpose in mind? What will happen? And I'm sure that there are enough people in the world who live without knowing the why. So Rekha says to serve humanity, generate ideas, serve the society. So why the why? What happens if why is not there? End the life like an animal, because I think human beings are the only species who will probably know the why. Others are working because nature has provided them that. They've been programmed to, okay, you do honeybee, you collect honey. That's all your work. But human beings are not meant for one purpose, multiple purposes, each one different purposes. And even honeybees also, there are different purposes. The queen bee has got some purpose, the other bees have got other purpose, but limited. So here, multiplicity of purposes. So some of us may not even know, like Rekha says, we may not even know that why, what is my why. And such people are not able to produce good results because their why is not known to them. So let's see. Why is important? I'll tell you why is important. Well, one story I'll tell from, who is this person? Any idea?
Churchill.
So Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of England during the Second World War. And according to the story, World War is going on. Germans are already attacking. They have already conquered France. And now they are bombarding the British Isles. And that is the time the coal miners of Newcastle went on strike. And what is the importance of coal during the Second World War? Why is it important to have coal during the Second World War? Let's see. Why do we need coal? Importance of, Anana says, coal was the only fuel. Ships needed coal, trains needed coal, factories needed coal, every means of production those days, because petroleum was not in use, it was coal. Steam ships, steam trains, steam goods trains, steam engines in factories. Now, if coal miners go on strike, the war effort cannot continue. So somebody told Churchill, unless you go and talk to the coal miners, they will not withdraw from the strike. So according to the story, Churchill goes to the coal miners and makes this speech. And he tells, run ships, trains, factories. So he says, England is at war with Germany. Some of our countrymen in the army, the navy, the air force are fighting the Germans to safeguard our country. When their grandchildren ask them, Grandpa, where were you during the war? The one in the navy is going to say, I was in a naval battleship sailing in the Atlantic Ocean, hunting for a German U-boat or submarine and destroying it and sinking it before it becomes a danger to my country. So I saved England because I was in the navy. The one in the army is going to say, I was in a tank in the deserts of Africa, fighting against the German soldiers there. I saved England because I was in the army fighting for my country. The one in the Air Force is going to say, I was flying a bomber over the factories of Germany, which are making the war-making capability, equipment and armaments and machines and weapons. I bombed them so that there is no danger to my country. I saved England. What will you tell your grandchildren when they ask you, where were you during the war? And you are going to say that I was in an underground coal mine digging for coal. I was in an underground coal mine digging for coal, which went into the factories, which made those weapons and tanks and tankers and planes to be used by my army and the navy, army and the air force. I was digging for coal into an underground coal mine, which went into the naval ships, and because of which they were able to sail. I was an underground coal mine. I dug coal, which made fighting the war possible. Suddenly, there is a why connection there. Otherwise, it is a routine digging of coal. I don't know what is the purpose of that. What is my contribution in that? Is there anybody honoring that contribution? Or suddenly, there is an honorable connection between my routine act of digging coal in underground coal mine and its eventual purpose. The why is discovered. And the why is discovered, I know that I cannot go for strike. The strike has to wait. That's why is important. For any task, why is important. And the why is important in a companies also, because you may say all sort of things like, we are customer friendly. Our job is to ensure that the customer is happy. But why, if that is not told to the bottommost employee, it will only be a lip service. They will smile nicely and say, sorry, sir, there is nothing I can do about it. There is something known as moment of truth. The word coined by Anne Carlson, who took over as the chairman of Scandinavian Airlines sometime in the 1980s. And it was in loss that time. He wanted to turn it around and rightly realize that airline is a customer-centric industry. If people are happy with the customer service, they'll come back for more service. If they are not happy, they'll not give me business. So, conduct a series of training programs, and the experience of that is written in that book called Moments of Truth. And after 6 months of training and deployment, he came to know that a good example of how the system has worked, how change of mind in the employee workforce has happened. There is one employee there is one passenger came to the check-in counter. When he reached there, he realized that he has forgotten the ticket. Search his pocket and he said, oh my God, can't. I'm talking about 1980s. There is no PNR number. You must have a hard copy ticket in order to be able to fly, because without ticket, you can't fly. That is government regulations for safety, security purposes. The counter clerk, or is the staff, she was within her rights to tell him, sorry, sir, you don't have a ticket, so you can't fly. I can't permit you. Go and bring the ticket. Then you can check in. But by the time the ticket comes, probably it will be too late. Too late. So, but she went beyond her call of duty. The true essence of the knowing the why. Why am I doing this? Because my company has to be seen as a customer-friendly company. That why was very strong. She said, tell me, sir, where did you leave your ticket? He said, I left it in my hotel room bed. While coming out, I just forgot there. It is in my hotel bed. So she said, sir, I'll give a temporary ticket. You can't fly using that, but at least you can do security clearance. Temporarily give a check-in to the extent that you can finish security clearance. Meantime, I will send a cab to a hotel room and get the original ticket. And she does that, the ticket comes, he's able to fly. Because her why was strong, she went beyond her empowerment. Otherwise, anybody will say, sir, let me ask my manager, क्या कर सकते हैं? Manager will say, मुझे भी पता नहीं है, मेरा manager के पूछता हूँ. By the time the manager decides something, the flight would have taken off. And nobody can blame the airlines because it is my mistake. I didn't bring the ticket. But because the why is strong in each employee, and not just an instruction, be customer friendly. They'll just smile and say, sorry, sir, there is nothing I can do, sir. But no, and that is a soft aspect of customer service. The hard aspect is actually being able to solve the problem. So she had both hard aspect as well as a soft aspect. So purpose is required because of this reason. Then only you'll get motivation, self-motivation for my own thing, or motivation my employees, for the case of companies, those who are in the leadership position in this audience. Mark Twain says the two most important days in our life are one, the day we are born, and the day we find out why. The day we are born is known. Birth certificate. Everybody knows that. The day we find out why is not known because some of us probably will not even know till the end of our life why we are born. So that is a tragedy. And those people will live life without any long-term leaving a legacy. So that is why it's very important to understand the purpose. So now let us see how do you understand the purpose? And that is where this Ikigai comes. Let me see some polling here, see how many people know what is Ikigai. If you write in the chat box, yes means you know, no means you can write either yes or no. Yeah, Ananya and Rakesh, we have learned this Ikigai under Brigadier Sushil Basin. In fact, last year was the first time I heard that. I mean, imagine. At age 68, you are understanding what is Ikigai. Till the time we didn't even know such a great concept. Sachin Dangle says no. Krishnan sir, of course, you are my guru, so you will know in any case. So, yeah, there are mix of what is it? Some kind of cow. 570, 53, please rename yourself with a name your parents have given you or a nickname that you would like to be called as, because this is a very machine language name. So some kind of cow nahi hai. Very creative. Guy, na? Ikki guy. Hindi ka guy hai. Ye Japanese hai. Good. Thank you so much. Now, Ikigai is a Japanese concept. Like so many other Japanese cow. Like so many things like Kaizen and Kanban, all those nice Japanese management concepts. This is also a Japanese concept. But Kanban and Kaizen people have heard. This people may not have heard because not used that much in the corporate world. Whereas Kaizen is used very much in the manufacturing. So let's see. It's a Japanese formula for a long and happy life. Long life, happy life. Long life is by itself is of no use. If I want to be bedridden with oxygen cylinder next to my bed and 4 people to support me to get up from my bed, I do not want such long life because I'll be very unhappy living such life. I want a long life and I want a happy life. I want an independent life. And why this Japanese concept, why not elsewhere? The definition of Ikigai is reason for being. Why are we here? And because of that why, the thing that gets you up in the morning, the reason for getting up in the morning. A small island in the Japanese group of islands, very small island where this, I have marked it here. This is home to some people. And if you consider the number of people above the age of 100, centenarians, living a very healthy and happy and contributing life. So per 1,000 you take anywhere in the world, here it is a maximum ratio. That means number of people above the age of 100 living happily, healthily, in a contributing manner. Number of people per 1,000 in this Okinawa island is highest as compared to anywhere in the world. And people went and did some research on those people. How is it? Yeah, what's so great about these people? And then there's a full book on their lifestyle. And that's where if you search in Amazon, you'll get plenty of books, Ikigai. In a nutshell, I'll tell you what it is. It's a full book, but I will cover it in 5 minutes time. They are engaged in meaningful activities apart from their simple food, full of raw grains and raw vegetables and fish, of course. So apart from the healthy eating habits, they also have got healthy living habits. They don't waste time. They're always helping each other. They're always good trying to do something indoor sport, outdoor sports to the maximum capacity that they have. And then the book says there are 4 things we need to consider. One is the yellow circle, that which you are good at. What are you good at? Second says, what do you love? Third says, what you are good at and what you love, is it required by the world? Is there any physical use for that? And fourth says, even if the use is there, will you get paid for it? When all the 4 circles intersect, that means there is something which I'm good at, I love that work, the work key output is needed by the world, and I get paid for it. When all 4 are intersecting, that is my Ikigai. I'm meant for that. Nature, infinite intelligence, God has sent me to do this work. And I will be able to discover my Ikigai. When I discover my Ikigai, I'll be of highest quality because I'm good in this one. And what I'm doing is I really love it. It gives me so much happiness. I don't even consider it as a work. It just time passes. And somebody is getting benefited by that. And I'm getting paid for it. Suppose you take only the first 2 circles. Also the last 2 circles. That means that which the world needs and that which you can be paid for. What is the one word for this when you are doing this?
Selfishness.
Pardon?
Selfishness.
No, selfishness nahi hai. I mean, paisa sabko chahiye. World needs, see,
Demand.
somebody is getting
Demand.
my work out of me and I'm getting paid for it.
Demand.
Business.
Business, job, service, जो भी है. मतलब एक काम है, वो काम करने से पैसा मिल रहा है. But whether you are good in that work, whether you are loving that work, not taken care of. ये नौकरी है, चाकरी है, करना पड़ता है, पापी पेट का सवाल है. Do you like it? No. Nagesh Kulkarni says, no, boring it is. क्योंकि मेरा दिल उसमें नहीं है. My heart is not in that. So anyone here who doesn't want me to speak one sentence of Hindi, please put it in the chat box. Then I'll stop 100%. But when you speak colloquially, you automatically kanja. Apna nevi ka aadat hai. So I'm doing a work which I'm not good at possibly and which I don't love. I'm only doing because it fills my stomach. How long I can continue doing this one? One day I will die of boredom because my boredom will make my heart also get into a lot of cholesterol deposits because happiness is required for healthy life. Okay. Suppose you take other 2 circles. So is it job or a service or business? Business will wind up because no customer will come to you if you are not good in it and if you don't love that business. Because 4 baje band karke jayega, dukaan band. Job, because of legal things, you will not be thrown out of the job, will continue. unless you're an MNC or something. That which you are good at and that which you love. What will be one word for this?
Passion.
Passion. Hobby.
Hobby.
पैसा नहीं है. Hobby. I'm good at it and I love this one. My house is very close to a seashore, Arabian Sea, just half a kilometer. So if I say that I am very good in counting the number of waves which come and hit the beach in an hour, I'm very good in that. I can count exactly. And I love that work. Can I continue to do that for the rest of my life?
No.
Because the world doesn't need somebody who goes counting waves. Why does the world need someone who just his only job is counting waves? There's no purpose, no? And nobody going to pay me also for that. There is no job description. It says count the waves. So a hobby is okay, provided there is a purpose behind it. So that is when job becomes a passion. You may do input for weather forecasting, sir, Shankar. Shankar, sir, I am both weather forecaster plus oceanographer. For 15-20 years in the Navy, counting waves was not counted for weather forecasting. Yeah, there are places where you have to do some studies where you have to do the using waves, you have to generate the electricity. So people tried that, but they found out that it is not worthwhile because the maintenance cost of the machines is too much. So maybe one specialized place will be there. But I'm talking about I'm sitting Arabian Sea after retirement counting the number of waves. And there is no scope of any wave generation of electricity here as such. I just gave an example. So when the passion and the hobby becomes the job, that is when you get the ikigai. That means I'm not working. I'm enjoying my work. My work is my hobby. And we should get into that sort of work where work becomes a hobby. Now, how do I know what I'm good at? How do I know what I'm good at? Either somebody has told me, or I have to undergo a test for that purpose. So if somebody has told me, it's well and good. Yeah, anybody?
Self-analysis.
Self-analysis, yeah, to an extent you can do that, but we will also have our blind spots. No? I may think that I'm very good in that, but my boss also has to agree to that.
You got good insight of yourself.
My self-analysis can be based on my own self-aggrandizement. There is no guarantee that it is actual truth. Because in all our appraisals, we say, I'm so good in that. Once my boss, Dr. Bhartiya, my boss asked me, so Vijay, I have to appraise you out of 5. You know, your MNC rating is not a 5. So what do you think you are? I said 5, sir. He said, if 5 out of 5 you are, then there's no scope for improvement at all. Abhi appraisal mein kya likhne ka? Because each one thinks he is a star employee, na? So that can be dangerous unless it is corroborated by somebody else. So my boss said, no, 5 to nahi de sakta, because that is too much. That means you are already reached that stage, nirvana stage, where you don't have to grow further. So the boss also tells me that what I think of myself is exactly what boss also thinks. Yes. And then I will be saying, Vijay, you go for this one. You are good in this one. You don't go for that. You are not so good in that. Because somebody says that you are very good in analysis. You do all the analysis. But when it comes to execution, or even a presentation to a customer, your communication skills are not there because you analyzed fully. For you, it is in your second nature. But to customer, he doesn't know what you are talking about. Now you have to customize that analysis to the taste of the customer. Otherwise, your great idea will not be acceptable to the customer because you didn't correctly connect. So you do the analysis, you develop a solution. Another guy is probably not so good in analysis, but is very good in convincing other people. So boss has found out 2 people for 2 different roles. If I say, no, my idea, I will only tell. Idea will be there. I am not able to convey that. I lose out in the business. So either we are lucky to have somebody who can tell us all these things, or we have to undergo some test. So there is a test. There's a book called Strength Finder 2.0, Gallup Publications. Tom Ruth is the author. When you buy this book, I think it was when I bought it was some 300 rupees. I underwent this test when I was in Cognizant. Now it may be some 500, 600 rupees, Amazon. Each book comes with a key for an internet test. Now, don't buy it unless you are ready to sit for 1 hour giving the internet test. And each question has got 45 seconds. If you don't answer that question, it just goes off. Shankar, 1,240, maybe. I have not checked. Somebody told me 800 rupees. So if you do not want to spend money, I'll give you the alternatives also. So every question I got 2 answers, and both answers look alike. So you can't fool the test. And like SSB, whatever comes first, you have to write the answer. At the end of it, it gives analysis. Similar to this one, there is a free test called hifitest.com. If you want a detailed analysis, they'll ask for money, but your top 5 strengths, they'll give you without any cost. 16personalities.com is another test, which you can do it free. So I did this test myself in 2008. I mean, I didn't pay for it. Cognizant conducted a 2-day course, and I was one of the participants, and all of us had to give the test. And what exactly is the strengths which has given here? You can, each word is 2 pages in that book. From activator to achiever to etc. Last ending is oo. So if I ask you what is, some of them it is easy to find out. Some of them easy to find out. For example, what exactly is analytical is understood. Learner, understood. What is woo? Any guesses on woo? Wow, nahi. W-O-O.
W-O-H.
H nahi. Woo. O. Have you, I mean, nowadays people, see, earlier I was in Cochin, and sometimes you have to go to Delhi on temporary duty, what we call in Navy. It is a 56-hour journey by Kerala Karnataka Express, 125 KK Express. 2.5 days. And you are in a second AC compartment for 2.5 days. And by the time the train reaches Delhi, you are friendly with half the compartment. Not all of us, but some of the people. I've seen some people can go to anybody and talk and be friendly with other people. So I also tried, let me also speak to some people. They spoke for 2 minutes. After that, they started reading their newspapers. Whereas a woo person can make friends with anybody on earth. When that person goes and speaks, the other person listens very actively. Flight, 2 hours, people sit like this, like a horse. They don't even look this side, that side. But a woo person will talk to 2-3 people at least. So woo is that capacity which is again inborn. And you would start developing it, it will come artificial. And you will not be able to succeed. And there is no point in trying to do that because it can't come automatically. So when I did the test, what came out was these were my top 5 talents. I'm not calling it strength. These are the top 5 talents. Now, talent means the seed is there. If it has to become a strength, I must nurture that strength. So it says developer. Any idea what is meant by developer? There are IT people here like we have Dr. Bhatia. So developer means for IT people, it is a software developer. In this context, developer means somebody who can develop people. That's why HRD bolte na. human resource development, learning and development. So one of my talents came out in the test was developer. Second was empathy. Third was includer. Fourth was learner. And fifth was responsibility. And I fully agree with the analysis of my own talents, because right from my college days, I was very sought after person. Somebody doesn't understand a math problem, they'll say, Vijay, can you come and teach me this one? I done that when I was to my friends and I was in BSc, done that in MSc. And in the Navy, I joined a branch called Education Branch, later specialized oceanography and meteorology, where 6 years I was only developing people, the young sailors joining after 10th standard, including teaching Hindi to those North Indians with my South Indian Hindi degree. And then even in my specialization, I continued. Then I joined Tata Infotech as a training L&D, and then Cognizant L&D. Even today, I'm doing L&D as a trainer because the talent was there. Empathy, I can make out your feelings, whether you're feeling sad or angry. I can make out just looking at your face or listening to your voice. Empathy is that. Includer, I want to take all people along. Learner, yes. Continuous for the last 2 years, I'm learning webinars. Before that, I completed my MSc in Yogic Sciences, and continuously I never stopped learning. Responsibility, very much essential if you have to succeed in the Navy, because in the Navy, we don't say, boss gives you some job and I give it to my subordinate. The subordinate doesn't do that. And I can't go and tell the boss, I told him, he did not do, main kya karu? No, you have taken the responsibility, the buck stops there. So my 5 talents have helped me in my life. Somehow got into that, God's will. Now, talent is there, I need to develop it. Otherwise, the seed will remain. But if you do not have the talent and then you try to develop, even if you put maximum effort, you're not going to get the full results. So concentrating on what is available to us. And God has given each one of us 5 of these 34. These are 34 of them. 5 of the 34 we already all have. So discover your talent first so that we are able to tailor our, especially useful for people whom you are going to coach in your maybe college student level, etc. कबीर का दोहा है, कबीरा जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे और हम रोए, ऐसी करनी कर चलो कि जब हम मरे हम हंसे और जग रोए. When I was born, when everyone is born, child me, I was crying, but the whole world was laughing out of happiness and rejoicement. I must do such tasks in this world that when I go out of this world, I go laughing. And the whole world cries for me. The whole world misses me. So, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? After that, any case, I am not going to be seen by anybody. No? क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? So give me one justification why this is required. Though Kabir has said that, and I admire Kabir. क्या होगा? नहीं होगा तो. Includer, Shankar, includer means, suppose like some people, some 5 people in a team. No? Now you are an includer because you have been taking the teams in your own assignment. See, includer means, see, 5 people are there. One person is not working. I am focused on the work to complete. Usko jaane do, leave him aside. Let 4 of us do the work. That person feels let down because you are not taking that person along. He's not a part of the team. Maybe he has got some other problem. He's not able to do the task now. And we are wasting his effort. 4 of us are working harder because other person is silent. But what happens with that person's life? The person gets life wasted, no? So wasted life, Rakesh says, because if people have to laugh at us when we are gone, that is a waste of our life. How do I know that people are going to laugh before the death itself? Will there be an indication? What will be the indication to tell us selfless service? Yeah, I do selfless service, but see, I am not doing selfless service. I am doing some work. No, I am managing a team in the office. I am looking after my family at home. I am doing a business. They will not care about. The indication will come, suppose whether it is a Navy or the Air Force or business or an IT company or anywhere. We manage one team for about 3 years, then we get transferred to another team or we are allocated to another team. Now we have managed some 25 people in this team. Now there are some rumors that Vijay ka transfer aa gaya, he is going out of this team. And people are sitting in the canteen and chit-chatting. And somebody says, "Arey, suna hai? No, Vijay is going out of the team." And other guy says, "Yeah, kya hai? We have been hearing for last 6 months. Abhi kahin gaya nahi hai." Somehow it gets cancelled and it remains here only. And when I'm listening to this, what will be the hint I'm getting from those people? They're waiting for me to go. And the day I go, they'll celebrate. They're laughing that I am going. But if I get the other way around, hey, when I heard that he's leaving this team, and we learned so much in this team, we did such a good work. You are such a team player and team worker and team builder. We really made a difference in our life. Now that he's going, we are feeling very sorry for it, that he's leaving. But I feel that whatever I came into this team for, I've done that. I'm laughing when I'm going and they are crying. So that is enough to indicate that when we go out of this life, people will cry for us. There's actually a full book by Robin Sharma who says, "Who will cry when you die?" The philosophy is same, Kabir ka. So my growth is in the growth of my junior team. In that case, they will cry for us when we are leaving the team. So that has to be. There was a case where in MNC, not MNC, what do you call PSU in Bangalore. That guy, the chairman, was caught in a scam of taking bribes to sell trucks to the army at exorbitant prices, outdated trucks. And he was suspended from his chairmanship. The day he was suspended, there was Diwali in the campus of the factory in the heart of Bangalore, near the HAL. Not HAL, near the HAL. People celebrated his suspension by bursting firecrackers and distributing laddus. Now, his quarters is inside that campus. How will you feel when people are celebrating that I've been suspended? So people know who has done good work and who has not done good work. Steve Jobs, after being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, he says in 2005 in a speech in Stanford University, and he knows with his millions of dollars, pancreatic cancer cannot be cured. And he says, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. And don't let the opinion of others to drown your own inner voice. It is your life. You are responsible for that. Don't take others' opinion too seriously and live their life. They are living their life by proxy through you. And you will not be able to do justice to your own things. So your purpose will not be served. This I saw yesterday, and somebody sent me WhatsApp or LinkedIn. Mein aaya tha kuch. As a product manager, when I die, I want the developers I have worked with to lower me into my grave so that they can let me down one last time. पूरा जिंदगी भर में मेरा टीम has let me down. एक लास्ट चांस है, रोप पकड़ के उसका नीचे डालो, let down करो so that I can be buried. If I am a team leader like that, a product manager like that, what have I achieved in life? That throat. So who is responsible for letting me down. Obviously, I am responsible that they let me down because I didn't train them properly. I didn't motivate them properly. I didn't select the team properly. And therefore, I deserve to be let down even on the grave. Very, very humorous but robust statement. There was a reply from Raghavendra says, there was a reply from team member, he understood his requirement clearly, correct. So, anything to add it to this, Raghavendra? I have not seen that reply.
No, that's also. So usually this happens due to not understanding the requirements properly. So he told he understood this requirement at least clearly.
Correct. So fault remains with the product manager only, no? He was not able to tell the proper requirement specification. So what is the legacy that I know I written you, it is all applicable to me also, as to noticed it last moment. What is the legacy that you want to leave? Now we have not just one role, we have multiple roles. Give me some examples of roles that we play. they बोलते हैं ना दुनिया एक मंच है, हम लोग पात्रधारी हैं. World is a stage and we are all actors in that stage. So what are the things that we act upon in this earth on the stage? What are some of the roles that we have? Teacher. Yes. Yeah. So we have personal roles and professional roles. In a personal role, I am a son of my parents. I am a husband or wife of my spouse. I have children. I am the father or mother of my children. 3 minimum personal roles. But I also I got a distant relatives, not just nuclear family. I got my grandchildren or grandparents, cousins, extended family. So one. In professional roles, I am a team leader or a manager to my team. But I also have got a manager above me. So I am the team member of my manager. Then I got lateral connections. I am my colleague to so many people. So these 3. Then I am also a citizen. That means in the society, I have got some responsibility towards my society, other members of society. As a neighbor, I should not be throwing garbage. Like they say, some other countries, we require 3 different dabbas in our kitchen. One for dry, one for wet, one for recyclable. In some of our society, we don't need a dabba also. We only need a window. You can throw the garbage. So we can't be disturbing the other people. So while driving on the road, I got some responsibility towards other people on the other lanes. So I should not be doing anything rash. So there is a citizen role. So minimum 7 roles we have. No. Imagine yourself, you have called these people for your birthday, 80th birthday. Now some of you youngsters, 80th birthday is too far. For me, it is very close, 10 years only. I'm already 69. But you say that you will take 25 years. Your current age, you put 25 years. So in the 25 years later, you are celebrating your birthday and you called all these stakeholders. That means as a manager, I called my employee. As a team member, I called my manager. I called one colleague. I called my grandchildren. I called my wife. I called my father. Theoretically can call father, may not be available. And on 80th birthday, and your friend, and your fellow citizen, on 80th birthday, you are being felicitated and they are going to give a speech about you and your contribution in their life. What is it that you want to hear from them on your 80th birthday? There's a video from Franklin Covey. I'll send you by WhatsApp. This is from YouTube, because I can't take any copyrighted thing. From YouTube, there is a video. I'll send it across by WhatsApp tomorrow. Listen to that and understand how is it to listen to a 80th birthday felicitation from your near and dear ones, all the stakeholders. So what do you want? 60th or 80th? For me, 80th. For some of you, it is 60th. For some of it, maybe 50th. And it is confident to you. You're not going to tell anybody else. So that is about 80th birthday. I will not show the video for lack of time. Now, based on that, you write down what exactly is your mission in life. Write down an essay. Write down an essay of what I am. So vision board will come later. First, write a 2-page essay that I want to live my life like this, so that I'm able to listen from all my stakeholders, all these goody things. Because unless you make it a point to listen to goody things, goody things will not come. Then you have to make it into a vision board. Now, vision boards help us to stay focused, because early morning as you get up, you are going to look at the vision board. Before going to sleep, again, you are going to look at the vision board. And it has to be pictorial, because our brain understands picture faster than text. And it remains there. That's why people talk about mind maps. Like my introduction there, I written the first slide, second slide is mind map. Now, pictorial represented, even for you are giving a lecture somewhere, when you put it in a mind map format, one look at it, you can easily make out what are the points covered. So pictures are remembered better by the brain and gets into subconscious mind also faster. So vision board, I'll tell you exactly what exactly is vision board. I've got still 10 minutes. No matter what happens in your day, vision board is a constant reminder video, and it appeals both subconscious and conscious brain. So have a vision. These are the things that I need to do. These various stakeholders. These are my strengths. I'm good in this one. I enjoy doing this one. World needs it. I'm getting paid for it. And therefore, in each task, see, the 34 are required by all, but 34 will not be available to all. So as a manager, I may have multiple roles. I may be very good analytical things. So my team member has very good in analytical capabilities. Make use of that person for analytical work. Some worker, some employee is very good in making friendships. Use the person to get business. Another person is very good in communication. Go and find out what he can do for communication with other people. If I'm not good in something, I must recruit somebody else in my team who is good in something which I'm not good in. If I'm great in analysis, let me recruit a person who is good in communication. If I'm good in communication, recruit somebody who's good in analytics. Because look for complementary strengths. That's why they say diversity is required. So diversity is not just diversity of population based on their ethnicity, etc. Diversity of talents. So 10 people on the team put together, all 34 are there, then the team wins. So never look for people who are exactly like you. 5 fingers. Imagine the 5 fingers are exactly same. They will not bend like this and make a fist. Each one will be saying, you bend first. I'm no smaller than you. Tum bend karo. So we have different bending styles, different lengths, and therefore are able to make a fist. Similarly, team, when the diversity of strengths are there, we are able to get best out of the team, because all 34 may be there in that. So strong why based on what you are good at. And then what is that you want in life? Next 25 years. Then make a goal of that and find pictures. I'll give a sample here in a case. Use photographs, magazine cutouts, Images from web, you will get from Google Images, you will get from Canva, you will get from pexels.com, beautiful pictures of what car you want, what house you want, what foreign visit you want to make, how much money you want to make, 1 crore, 2 crore, and make a collage about all these things. And only thing, it should touch each of those roles that you have. Include a picture of yourself in a happy moment, your own health. If you are overweight, put a photograph of youngster looking very slim and within the BMI. Then before going to bed, write 6 tasks related to your goal to be achieved next day. Subconscious mind will accept the orders from you that these are the things. Like I told you that when you tell the subconscious mind that you want to get up at 5 o'clock, even with the alarm, you are able to get up. Similarly, subconscious mind, you feed it there, these are the tasks to be done. The subconscious mind works in the background without sleeping and tells you, okay, this is the way to do it. You'll get a solution. Strong why is required, and write in the present tense. Like for me, I have written, I have touched 10,000 people in this year, and I have made 25 lakhs by training, 20 lakhs by stock market. I have, not I will, not God willing, if possible. No, none of those things. Moment you that if possible things, intelligence, infinite intelligence says, "ठीक है, तुमको तो भरोसा नहीं है." Faith is required. Desire, faith, persistence. Writing leads to, writing has got a direct connection with the brain. Unfortunately, we are into more of typing, which is not a very good thing to happen. But goals you write by hand in a diary. So avoid cluttered, chaotic board. You should be looking very pleasing to you. Motivational affirmation words. And you can renew it. Every 6 months, you can renew the board. And things will start working. So one sample which I showed you other day also. This is actual sample from our morning class where we have a class called Rewire Your Brain. I'm not the main person there. Somebody else runs it. I just been sitting for the last 6-8 months. Free of cost, without any payment, without accepting any payment, because I get a lot of people joining this. So this lady, she has put a check of what she wants, how much money she wants. Then there are emotional stability, peace, trust, love for self. Start a new business. Then what exactly is required for knowledge? PhD she wants, academic qualifications she wants to improve. Then various things she wants, serving the people. So all these things are here. How she wants to do service. All those things. Sports, that is for physical fitness. So body, mind, heart and soul. You're touching all those dimensions of yours. Relationships, family, social, emotional, financial, and service. All these are put together, you make the vision board. Believe you deserve it and the universe will serve it. That means you should not have any doubt that you are not going to get it. You deserve it. And who is telling whether you deserve it or not? Nobody else. You are saying that you deserve it. मांगोगे तभी तो मिलेगा. आधा हाथ से मांगोगे तो नहीं मिलेगा. She pasted a check also, Ashu. And that is part of the rituals. There are other things involved in the ritual that you are supposed to write a check on a full moon day. Vagara. So your friend, cousin Veera will tell you. She has done that. Now, who are these people? I'll remove myself from here. Who are these people? First one. Bhatti sir, you are muted.
Yeah, Metro Man.
Yes. Dr. Sridharan. Yes. E. Sridharan. Next was somebody already written that.
Yeah.
Varghese
Sam
Puri.
Manekshaw.
This is Metro Man.
Yeah.
This is the milkman.
The milkman.
Amul milk. And he's a military man.
Yeah.
Sam Manekshaw was responsible for a victory over Pakistan and
Bangladesh.
birth of Bangladesh. Military man. And this one?
The missile man.
Missile man. So Yam, Metro, Yam for milk, and Yam for military, and Yam for missile. And here I want to put my photo and you. Achha hai, huh?
And it
But I
will
am
be
neither Metro nor milk nor military man of that stature and nor a missile man. So where do I get qualified to be here in this frame?
motivation man.
No, I am a mango man. What is the translation of mango?
Aam Aadmi.
Aam
Aam
Aadmi.
Aadmi. So Har Aadmi, Aam Aadmi also deserves to be in
Special.
this frame, at least for own family and own team. And I may not be touching the entire India. I had touched 25 people in my team during my tenure. Am I a person who can leave a legacy for those 25 people? Can I be a person who can leave a legacy for my family and my immediate family? Or possibly my whole village at least? Abdul Kalam was for the whole country. I may not be that. But within the limited frame, I can have a limited frame of mind. Na? That is what is called leaving a legacy. And let us all strive for leaving that legacy. And I'm going to leave you now because time over here. So